Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Trish Heinrich with superherofiction.com, and this is your NaNoWriMo Monday morning coffee sip and sprint. Thank you for joining me this morning. We are going to start a 20-minute sprint at 10 after the hour, so wherever you're at, whether it's 10 a.m. Pacific or later for you, please join us. And we are going to be sprinting, I think, in conjunction with the sprint over in the Spec Writers Discord, if you're a member of that. I think we're at the same time as they are. I haven't really checked, but usually they go 10 after the hour. So I am sorry if I sound a little croaky and I look like I've been crying. I woke up with really bad dry eyes this morning. I struggle with that every once in a while, but rarely do I wake up with it. And I did this morning, and I've done my drops and everything else, and I still look like, I don't know, like I've got allergies or something. And I kind of feel like I've got allergies, which is very weird in November. But anyway, thank you for joining me. This is our second to last NaNoWriMo morning sprint. For those of you that are joining us virtually in the playbacks or watching live, this has been kind of challenging for me, but really good as well, to have this really firm schedule. I usually do try to keep a good schedule for production, and I do it in the morning with writing and revising and things like that. But these morning sprints have been great for me to really hold my feet to the fire to a very firm writing schedule. I hope you all are doing well this week. It's Thanksgiving week, which is really weird. I kind of want the year to be over, but oh my God, is it flying by? And usually I feel like those thankful posts are so forced. It's like, everybody has to have a thankful post about stuff that they're grateful for. And usually I just kind of roll my eyes. But this year I'm really kind of getting into it because there's so much that I could focus on that is bad and that I'm mad about, but focusing on the things I'm thankful for is really helping my mental health. So if you want to drop in the comments just something that you're thankful for, even if it's a great cup of coffee this morning, that is significant. I'm always grateful for a well-brewed cup. But I do want to talk really quickly about a couple of things that I am really thankful for. I'm really thankful for our frontline workers, those doctors and nurses and pharmacist techs that have to go to work every day and risk their lives this last year to take care of people. And not just COVID patients, but everybody. You know, you have a broken arm, somebody, has a heart attack, somebody needs to go in for chemo treatments. We have some very brave healthcare workers. And I have a friend / acquaintance. We're not super close, so it's like a friend of a friend. And she works in healthcare, and she's had a really hard year because for her, it's, she cares about the people that are in her life. And so she really hasn't been socializing at all. And that's really, really difficult, obviously, to not have that contact with other human beings. Because, Zoom is great and everything, but how many of you are sick of doing that? I know I am. And I know my kids are, and it's really hard. And that brings me to the other group of people I'm really thankful for this year is teachers. Teachers have had a really rough go of it. They have had to learn all new skills for some. They've had to dig other skills out of, and dust them off. And they've had to really rethink the way they teach. And they deserve our praise. They deserve medals. They are doing everything they can to ensure that our kids have an education this year. And it's not easy. It's not easy for anybody. Parents that are at home, I'm one of them. I have 2 girls, and it's hard. It's not easy. But I am thankful for our teachers who are just, they really are doing the best they can. So again, drop in the comments anything that you are thankful for this November. I hope you're going to have a good Thanksgiving. For us, it's just going to be my husband and I and the girls. We were going to have some friends come over, but because of the spiking cases, I live in Washington State, and so the governor has really limited social gatherings, and our 2 friends were going to come over for Thanksgiving, but after that, they really had to back out, and it was really disappointing. And we feel really, really sad about that. But we also know that if we all take care of each other, we all really take care to socially distance even more right now, and wear our masks and wash our hands, that we will see the end of this soon. And next year we will get to have Thanksgiving, and we won't have empty places at the table. And for those of you watching that do, my heart goes out to you. I am so sorry. I know that that is going to be brutal. Just know that I don't know your name maybe, but you are in my thoughts, and you are cared for, and you are loved. So that's really serious for a Monday morning. But I just kind of feel like it had to be said. And yeah, so we'll move on from there. I am doing pretty good with NaNoWriMo. I'll admit I'm not writing every single day. I have taken some days off just because I need that break. But I think if I can get some extra words in, I can actually take Thanksgiving off, and maybe even the day after, which I really want to do. This time of year, usually I'm feeling the need for an extended break, but especially this year, I am really feeling that need to take multiple days off. And so I'm hoping that I can get extra words in. And if I don't, I don't. I really want to win Nano this year. The last time I was in Nano, I did not win, not even close. I think I wrote for 5 days, and then I was like, forget it. The book's not working. But I really want to win Nano this year, and I am really close. I think I'm over 30,000 words. I don't know. Let me check. And it's going well. Yeah, I'm over 30,000 words. I'm 34,519. I'm approaching the murky middle of the book, and I can feel it, like that initial woohoo is kind of gone, and I'm feeling a little lost in the weeds. I'm not going to lie. My first drafts are always really long because I do tend to meander before I find my way, which is what I'm really discovering with the book I'm revising, not my Nano book, but a romance book that I'm revising, that I'm just like, oh, wow, I have way more here than I need. Which is, like I said, it's usually always the case. So I'm trying to remind myself of that. I'm trying to remind myself this happens every time. It's okay. I always find my way out. I always find the story. I always write a good book. And this one's not going to be any different. And so that's my personal pep talk for myself. How are the rest of you doing with your NaNoWriMo projects? If you're writing Nano, you might be revising for a book, you might be doing final edits. What are you up to? How's it going for you? I'm really excited. I really hadn't been paying much attention to the total amount and thinking of it in terms of like how much I have left until Nano's over, but I'm really heartened by that. Like, I could probably do that, although I just realized November is over on Monday. Monday's the last day of November. Who thought it was a good idea to put NaNoWriMo in November anyway? October feels like a much better month for that, personally, but that's just me. That's just my opinion. So my mug today is, you can't see it, but it's my Coffee Oasis mug. Coffee Oasis is a local coffee shop, and they do outreach to homeless youth and get them job training and get them shelter and education, and they're fabulous, and I love them, and I love supporting them. If you live in Washington State, you can donate to Coffee Oasis. They do a holiday drive to get scarves and gloves and hats and socks and presents to homeless youth, and it's a fantastic organization. I love it so much. The elixir of life, at least for me. I cannot have too much caffeine right now. Well, I suppose I could, but it doesn't feel like it, so there's that. All right, we have just less than half a minute before we start our sprint at 10 after the hour. So if you are sprinting with me, drop a comment, let me know. Or if you just don't want to, that's fine too. But it's nice to have company while I am working on the manuscript. And so we are going to go, I'm going to mute my mic And we are starting the sprint. I'll see you guys in 20. Okay, everybody. That is one writing sprint down. um, let's see. It looks like I did 905 words. Not bad. When I know what I'm going to write, I can usually get it out there really quickly. It's when I'm not sure what comes next that I'm like, and I do operate from a very light outline. I've tried doing deeper outlines before, and it just really stifles my creativity. I kind of see the first draft in some ways as a really long form outline because I work out all of the plot problems. I work out like things that, oh, I think it might go in this direction, and then find out, no, that's really not going to work. And so it's really helpful in that respect to just get that out there. And I have a general this, this, this is what the protagonist needs, this is what the antagonist needs, this is how they're going to get it, both of them, making sure that it lines up in terms of like conflict with each other, that their goals and their ways of getting it are in conflict with one another. So I have all of that, but it's like the drilling down into the specifics of each scene. I really have a hard time outlining to that extent. So I usually don't. I usually know kind of what's going to come next. I try to prep some scene cards because I work in Scrivener. So I use like the little virtual cork board. And I will try to, when I'm done writing for the day, set up the next scene, look at it and say, okay, this is coming next. And I write it on the little virtual card so that when I sit down the next day, I know what I'm doing. But sometimes I don't know what comes next. Sometimes I look at it and I'm like, I have no idea why I just wrote them into that corner. I got to get them out. And so I have to sit down and I have to brainstorm. And I usually do that with pen and paper. I'm kind of old school like that. Yesterday I went and I looked at the romance beat sheet for the other book, the book I'm revising, which is a romance novel. It's my first romance novel. And I'm just really realizing, okay, so the external plot is really kind of a lattice that the romance story hangs on. And it's really the romance story that needs to hit all of those beats. The lattice needs to be strong and it needs to be good. That's true. But I was putting too much attention on the external plot and not enough attention on the romance plot. So I went through and I wrote out all the beats, really narrowing down the story. And because that draft was huge, it was over 100,000 words, which for a romance novel, that is not good. It needs to be a hell of a lot shorter, like 20 to 25,000 words shorter than it was. And in looking at the romance beats and really drilling down and saying, okay, how is the story progressing along this line? I can now look at it and say, okay, I know how to trim this. I know what my focus needs to be. And so I'm trying to do that more often with books. It's like, okay, what is the bare bones of the story? What absolutely has to be there? That bare bones of this is the plot. This is what needs to be nailed down. This is really at its core what needs to be done. And really trying to write to that. And realizing like that first draft, it's going to be messy. It's going to be, in my case, it'll probably be overwritten. But sometimes it even might be underwritten. There might be characters that are way underwritten that when I go back and I revise, they're more fleshed out. And so it's just reminding myself, I don't have to hit everything in the first draft. And then in the revision, it is a narrowing down. It is a finding that plot again and making sure those threads are secure and that they go, in the direction that they're supposed to go. And so it's interesting to me. I'm working on two different ends of the story. I have never really done that before at the same time. And I'm very excited that I am teaching myself that skill because I think it's going to be really good for me in the next couple of years with all the books that I really want to produce. But it's also just, I don't know, I think it's good for me because while I'm revising, I'm reminding myself, of what's essential. And while I'm fast drafting, I'm reminding myself that it's okay to be a little bit messy. So it's just, I don't know, I feel like both of them are strengthening my skills in general for writing. So it's really, really exciting. Okay, we are going to do one more sprint. I think we're going to go to 11, and then we'll probably sign off. So we're going to do one more 20-minute sprint at 10:40. So let me write that in the comments so any of you following along will know. So last 20-minute sprint at 10:40 a.m. Pacific. There we go. I really appreciate you guys joining me. Got some good words in. Gives me hope that I can actually like write enough so I could take Thanksgiving Day off. That's going to be really nice. So yes, we're going to do one more 20-minute sprint at 10:40 Pacific, and then we will probably sign off. Yeah, and there are a lot of other sprints and activities that you can do, that you can join if you're doing National Novel Writing Month. Every region has different virtual write-ins, and there's a lot of Discord channels too, which is actually really exciting. I've joined a couple of the Discords, and they're a lot of fun, just to feel like you're socializing with people, because our profession can be really isolating in a normal year, but this year it feels even more so. So it's just been great to connect with other authors, especially those that are doing National Novel Writing Month. All right. So now I am up to 35,424 words, which is great. I have less than 15,000 words to go to win Nano. I'm pretty sure I can do it. I might be doing some hardcore sprinting this weekend if I take Thursday and Friday off, but I'm pretty sure I can do it. I'm trying to hit 2,000 words today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. So that's 6. That's almost half. And then if I do another 2, that's 8. This is going to be, this might be a little bit more difficult than I thought, actually, now that I'm doing the math. I don't know. I'm a little nervous. I'm going to go look at my dashboard here, see what we got, because I'm a little worried. Okay, 35,424. I am very excited. I'm going to update my progress. And now I'm going to look at, let's see. I don't know if it's going to let me do that or not. My stats. Here we go. I need almost 2,000 words today. It says I need 1,935. Yeah, I'm way. Jeez, if you look at my chart, I'm kind of dipped. Yeah, I need to hit 38,341 words. This is telling me at this rate you'll be done December 2nd, 2020, but I really want to win. That was my only real goal, was to win Nano this year. So I'm looking at this. Yeah, I can do this. I need about another 1,000, a little over 1,000 words today, which feels very doable. To be honest, I am almost positive that I can definitely do that. So our next sprint is starting in 1 minute. I'm tired, you guys, and I've had like 4 cups of coffee. How is that possible? It's a Monday, man. I need a vacation. So if you want to, real quick, just a quick announcement. There's going to be a new Geekorama podcast episode this week in time for Thanksgiving. And we're going to be talking Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, which if you haven't seen it or you haven't seen it in a long time, I really recommend it. It's just freaking delightful. It does have a little bit of a dark ending, but I really genuinely love that movie. It's really laugh out loud. It's fun. Watch the movie and then tune into the podcast episode where we dissect it. It's 40 after the hour, so that means it's time for a sprint. I will see you guys in 20 minutes. right, everybody. That is 11 o'clock. That's a 20-minute sprint. If you want to leave your word count totals in the comments, go for it. So, okay, I've crossed over into the 36,000 mark. So now I have 36,233. Not a whole lot. I think I probably wrote about 500 words this sprint. Not too shabby, but definitely not what I usually do. I kind of got, again, I got a little lost. Like I knew the previous scene, what I wanted to say, and then it was like, okay, what has to come next? I really need to be advancing the plot here. So what do I need to do to advance that plot? So yeah, I'm feeling a little murky here in the middle. I think I need to spend some time kind of nailing down what exactly has to happen. What does my protagonist need to discover? What needs to happen to her? What does she need to do? All that good stuff. All right, well, that is 11 o'clock. And I think we're going to call it there. Thank you for joining me for this NaNoWriMo coffee sip and sprint. We have one more of these on the last day of NaNoWriMo next week. You can join me at 10 a.m. Pacific for that. And thank you to superherofiction.com, the one-stop shop for all your superhero fiction needs, for hosting these sip and sprints. You can head on over to superhero-fiction.com this Friday for our 99-cent Black Friday sale, which I realize I probably should have mentioned before now. But we have over 30 books that are going to be available for 99 cents, and it's pretty freaking awesome. So head on over on Friday. The sale goes until the 1st of December, and grab yourself, like just load up your Kindle on 99-cent books to get you through the rest of the year. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a fantastic Thanksgiving for everybody that is celebrating that this year. And I will see you next week. Bye.